Hey guys, what is up and welcome to my channel. It's a Hardback Life. My name is Jordan and today we're going to be doing my official TBR for April. Woo! You guys, this whole year so far has been somewhat frustrating when it comes to reading for me because I just haven't felt as motivated to read this year. I mean, it's been a struggle for me to finish books. And I don't know why, but I mean, maybe it's because we're still in the midst of this pandemic, but I'm working, like I'm physically going to work and stuff, but I'm also drained because work is crazy. But anyway, I'm trying to do my best. And so far, in the whole year, I've only completed 6 books. So, yeah, I completed one in January because the second one I started to read put me in a reading slump. And I barely got out of that. But I did get out of it, and so yeah. But anyway, you guys, let me show you the books that I want to get to and prioritize. But before we do that, I want to show you what I've been listening to. Now you guys know every now and then I like to show you certain artists that I like to listen to. And the most recent work of art that I picked up when it comes to music is Demi Lovato's 7th studio album called Dancing with the Devil. Now, we know what, if you've been following the news, what Demi Lovato has gone through. Over the past several years, she has dealt with an addiction problem. And she has been getting help for that. And obviously, she unfortunately relapsed to the point where she almost died this time. But she was fortunately okay. And she's put that hardship that she's gone through into this beautiful piece of art. So she gets super real, and it's just, even if you don't like pop music or whatever, you will be able to appreciate this album for its lyricism. And she takes risks with experimentation with her music. So I definitely think this is a worthwhile listen. All right, on to my official TBR. The first book I want to talk about is the final book in a duology that I started this year, and that is The Villain's Duology by Victoria Schwab. Now, aka V.E. Schwab. V.E. Schwab pulled me out of my reading slump when I decided to read Vicious. I absolutely loved Vicious. It is one of my favorite books of 2021 that I've read so far. And, oh my gosh. If you don't know what Vicious or Villain's Duology is about, it's about two friends named Victor and Eli who were in college, and they end up doing like a theses, and their papers, or at least Eli chooses to do a whole thing on EOs, which are extraordinaries, which are people with special abilities. And they figured out the way to gain abilities is to have a near-death experience. And they have several attempts until they ultimately succeed. And when they do succeed, things go badly between them. And one of them betrays the other. And then thus begins this epic, this epic chase that Victor has to do to get revenge on Eli, and so forth. And it's such a great book. The first one was Vicious. This one is called Vengeful. This is the final book. Like I said, I have to read it. This is going to be a priority this month, so looking forward to that. The next series that I want to talk about is the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown. Now, as far as I know, there's 4 books. I don't have the 4th book yet. The first one is Red Rising. Then Golden Sun is book number 2. And Morning Star is book 3. And then I don't have this book yet. I actually forget the name of the title, but I will put it up here. I think it's called Dark Age or something. But that's the 4th book. And I don't even know if that's the conclusion of the series. But I want to read these so bad. What I know about it is it's basically, from what I've heard, it's Hunger Games in space. Basically. So, that sounds interesting. And I can't wait to read it. And you guys, this next one is a book series that I've been wanting to get to so badly, but everyone keeps talking about. And that is The Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. I have all 4 books now. The other 3 are sitting up on my shelf on top of my dresser. So I cannot wait to read this. I will hopefully start this book and finish it this month. If not, then I'm going to be very mad at myself. But I still have to read Malice. This is about 4 individuals who have a lot at stake. And there's a whole lot of going on. There's a lot of different cast of characters. And there's giants. This has been compared to Game of Thrones, kind of. So I cannot wait to read this. Anyway, this is Malice in the first book of The Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. So, super excited to hopefully get to it this month. Now, this next book I was debating on reading after certain things that happened. I'm not going to really go into that. But I'm going to read it anyway to see for myself. Because why not? That is Gardens of the Moon by Steven Erickson. This is the first book in a 10-book series called Malazan Book of the Fallen. And this is a postmodern fantasy, aka also an adult fantasy, that I've been meaning to read. I have been slowly collecting this series, and I finally have all 10 books now, so I'm going to start it hopefully this month. I've been trying to start this series since beginning of, at least February. It hasn't happened. So, here's hoping that I get to it. Anyway, this is Gardens of the Moon, Book 1. And the next series that we are going to talk about is the Shadow and Bone Trilogy, also known as the Grishaverse or Grisha Trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. First one, Shadow and Bone. I restarted it this month because I started it in the middle of February and kind of continued to read it in March, but I honestly forget where I was, so I completely started over at the beginning of this month, and I'm hopefully going to finish it and the rest of the books before April 23rd, which is the release of the Shadow and Bone series. Anyway, Shadow and Bone is about a girl named Alina Starkov who finds out that she has this, that she's a Grisha, and she joins the Grisha army, and I don't really know too much about it. I've read Six of Crows Duology, which I absolutely loved, and I'm afraid that I won't like this series as much as Six of Crows. We'll see. Anyway, the series, Shadow and Bone series consists of Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising. The next book on my list, you guys, is a book that came out in February, and I honestly have been going through it slowly. I've been trying to push through it, but I just haven't been able to really read. Like I said, work's been crazy, and that's led me to not want to read as much. And that is A Court of Silver Flames, which is the fourth book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. And yes, this is a paper towel I'm using for a bookmark. Don't worry, there's nothing on the paper towel. But yeah, I'm on page 348. 348. A lot has happened, and I'm really enjoying it. I just want to talk to Sarah J. Maas about pacing, because, boy, I am loving every second of this book, but, like, I think it's maybe the fact, maybe it's the whole thing about my motivation in reading. I don't know. Or my lack of motivation when it comes to reading. I don't know. It's just been, I don't know. I really want to finish this month, though. I am praying and hoping that I can power through this. And I might just cut my whole vlog out and just do a whole book review instead. Because this vlog is taking a lot of energy out of me. Ooh. Okay, you guys. This next series, I'm actually really excited about this one. Well, I'm excited about all the series that I'm reading. But I'm really, really excited about this one because it's a historical fantasy series. Yes, I love historical fiction and fantasy when it comes together. So, I'm really excited for this one. The series I'm going to talk to you about, when it comes to that, is the Conquerors Saga by Kirsten White. Now, this is a historical fiction, a historical fantasy, like I said, and this follows the Vavad Prince Vladimir something, or no, Vladislav, but they did a gender swap. The author did a gender swap, and the main character is a female. And this has been pitched as Game of Thrones, but teens, you know? And this is super exciting so far. I like it. So, this is a trilogy. And look at the cover, you guys. That's stunning. I freaking love this cover. It's beautiful. But this is the first book, And I Darken, which I love that title. And then we have Now I Rise. And the final book in the series, Bright We Burn. And I cannot wait to finish this series. I'm like only 50 pages into And I Darken, but I'm loving it. Oh my god, am I loving it? Oh my gosh. Okay. Another book that I want to start this month so I can eventually read the rest of the series and be prepared for the fourth book when it comes out, is Senlin Ascends, the first book in the Tower of Babel series by Josiah Bancroft. This is about a guy named Thomas Senlin who gets unfortunately separated from his wife because of whatever the Tower of Babel is. And so this whole series, I guess, is him trying to find her. And there's a lot of magical elements at play which keep him from finding her, I guess. That's all I know. But I can't wait to read this. I'm super excited. And the last book on my list that is a major priority to get to is this one, Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare, book 2 in the Last Hours trilogy. It came out last month. I haven't had the time to read it. Also because I want to reread the Infernal Devices trilogy and Chain of Gold before I read this. So yeah, my plan is to reread all 3 of these and this before I can get to this. Because honestly, you guys, I need a bit of a refresher, to tell you the truth. It's been a year since I've visited the Shadowhunter world, so yeah, I need a refresher. Anyway, you guys, that was my TBR in a nutshell. There are some books that I probably didn't put on this list because they're not as big of a priority. But, well, actually, yeah, there's one that might be a priority that I didn't put on the list, but that's if I decide to participate in the buddy read that's happening for this book. Anyway, that was it, you guys. Please like and subscribe. That would mean a whole lot to me. And also be looking for other cool content. Like, I have an assumptions video that I'm going to be doing mid-April. April 21st to be exact, because that's when I started or posted my first video on BookTube. So yeah, that's one thing to be looking forward to for sure. I'm going to be doing an assumptions video because it's my 1-year anniversary on BookTube. Woo! I've done it, you guys. 1 year almost. I am super excited. Also, it'll be my 2 years for working at Goodwill, and that's also exciting. I can't believe it's been 2 years that I've been working at Goodwill, but I'm grateful to my job because they pulled me out of what would have been a several month-long journey to find a job, because I lost my previous job before like March of 2019 because I was let go, and then luckily I found Goodwill a month later, and I've just been so grateful to the company. And yeah, but anyways, you guys, be looking for my assumptions video in mid-April. Also, I was tagged in another I was tagged by my friend Joanna for the Choose Your Own Adventure book tag. So I'm going to be doing that and some other things. So stay tuned. Alright, you guys. See you later.